What attracted me to the rave scene, not the music, was the actual people.
Yeah.
Because when I was going doing blueses, like I used to do jingles like Westwood. We used to go to hip hop things for Westwood. I didn't like that. I thought it was rubbish. But the reggae side and the mixture, you know, in Hackney, all the sound things. You know, I'd play Ellingford Road, Holly Street, Factory in Stoke Newton. You know, I'd ride around on a BMX looking for empty houses. Yeah. And that would be my job for the week. And then I'd find an empty house and stalk it out. Like, is it empty that someone's moving in? Is it just derelict?
Yeah.
No, we done the first house we ever done a blues in was a derelict house where upstairs, you know, like the floor's gonna come down any second.
Wow.
So we had it downstairs,
Yeah.
and upstairs was cat shit. Like we had to sweep it all out, all cat shit. But it was brilliant, you know. I'm in there cutting up. But them days, the kind of crowd I attracted, they're the local, well, young, you know, hood. I don't know how to word it because they're not all roadman or you know. Today you call them roadman, but they're not all roadman.
Yeah,
But it was a mixture. But they weren't. Some intimidating people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd be on the decks, and they'd all just literally be in front of you like that.
Yeah.
Like, go on, show me. What? I thought you was good. Go on then. And you're like that. No, but I used to smash it, you know, and I did, you know. And then going to the rave scene, as I said, hearing all these lot just mixing and doing stuff that I thought was quite simple. And to be fair to them, at the time, I didn't really understand about selection and music. It was just, I'm looking at the technical skill. I think they're rubbish. Yeah, we used to go to this shop called Funky Shoe Shop in Dalston. And this geezer, John, he's like the local entrepreneur. When I look back, he owned a shoe shop, but at the time, I looked at him like he was this, you know, he used to drive. He was cool, he's a nice guy, but everyone used to hang out there. And all these DJs that were doing the rave scene, you know, I'm getting 500 quid to play here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Where are you playing? I'm not playing nowhere. Yeah, they're all like, yeah, but you're wicked, you're this. But I'm playing the wrong music. So I forced myself into the rave scene, went on Fantasy, thought I can't call myself Dr. K because I'm already doing the other station. So what can I call myself? So I had in my drawer 2 t-shirts that I'd bought down Carnaby Street. One was a Nike tick, but instead of saying Nike, it said Hype. And I had a Batman, you know, the Batman bat. And instead of saying Batman, it said Hype. I must have just bought them one day. And I thought, well, if I call myself Hype, I've got 2 t-shirts with my name Hype.
One thing I want to ask you, you know, you're still very current right now. You know, you're playing at festivals like Outlook and you know big like you've done
Glastonbury. We did Glastonbury Arcade this year. We did Boomtown, the main set. We killed this
so
year's been amazing. Yeah.
How I kind of see your career since you did break onto the scene, which I was there the first day that you changed the whole scenes. Do you remember that time we went Coventry Jungle Fever?
Yeah.
That was the night everything started for Hype, and I was there. I remember. It was at the Coventry.
I wouldn't say it's when it all started. It was definitely a defining moment.
That's when everybody noticed. You was cutting all week for that show. Do you remember?
Cutting dubs.
Cutting dubs. You're cutting dubs.
Well, them days we shut up and down. I had red light dubs. I had dubs no one had because.
That's what I'm saying.
And I attacked it in a sound clash kind of mentality. Before doing Fever, like Brocky used to come around my house. I would do him little specials for Fever. I remember I done one. I think the tune actually come out on sub bass in the end, but the original one I did it for Brocky. And it had like I think it was a Buju Banton sample of Dub Play for Bus Up Inner, and I'd add Fever on the end. And then I ended up doing one for myself to play at Paradise, where it went Dub Flake for Bus Up Inner, Paradise. And then I had one that went high, but I just changed it all.
Yeah.
And I was doing specials, and then what happened is I was DJing and that. And then Brocky phoned me up going, yeah, Eastman wants you on the Fever one. Why I think that, I don't think that kick-started my career, but it was a defining moment because for the whole scene I think that rave was, because for Jungle, because what had happened is it had never really come out of London at that point, and that Coventry gig, I didn't know what to expect. We all went up there, just, you know, it's another rave.
Yeah.
But when I walked in there, it was packed, the vibe was amazing, and the crowd, what was so important to me, I was looking at a crowd that was like Hackney Badman, you know, London Roadman, White Glove Ravers, you know, Happy Hour, you can see, you know, like just
in the mix.
Yeah, but the mix, because the culture had never seen that before.
Yeah.
The music had never, you know, like if you went to a roast, you know, like the London Jungle Rave, then they weren't quite like that yet, you know, and that one was like, I'm looking at No Trouble, you know, everyone raving together. I never thought I'd see a White Glove Raver, you know, happy hardcore vibe, but he's raving to Jungle with that Roadman next to him, raving with him, no problem.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to have a friend, my friend Terry, who I'm not friends with anymore, but we won't go into that. But at the time, he's 10 years older than me, and there was me and him. I think I just finished playing, and DJ Ron, I think I remember being up there. Trace was there. And a couple of other people. Well, we're all in the booth. Yeah, this is. And then my mate Terry said, "I've waited all my life for this." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" Because all the music that jungle music was a melting pot of all the music that we'd grown up on. And to be in this place now where I can play this multi-styled music, and it's multicultural as well. You know, that's the whole. That's why in the last few years I wasn't feeling the way. I will choose my words carefully here because I'm not criticising nobody, but just personally, I didn't like the way the direction of the music was going a bit. I thought it was going too one direction, not enough in another, and I thought it's supposed to be a melting pot, you know. And also the whole commercial side I was against, because I'm like, originally it was a melting pot and it was fuck the establishment. It's rebel music, you know, like we you know, when you're 18 to 20, you're not making music to please you don't. You know, that's why I think at the moment the whole scene's coming back to that. You know, like that commercial is not dead, it's not going to die, and you need it. But that whole buzz on it, it's kind of, it's not because it's rubbish. You've had 5 years of it. And meanwhile, the underground has been. Well, that's what me and you spoke. Where I said it's why you see things like SLSS, but you see like this year Boomtown or Arcadia. You know, I can always play anywhere, but you know, like sometimes your career, you know, when there's people that are actually there to see you. And then there's other times when you're on the lineup, and you played all right, but you know, the majority of people ain't come for me. They've come for the pop guy, or they've come for the rap act, or the grime guy, you know. In this year, where, you know, I'm following certain artists where, I mean, I'll tell you one I did where I was in Ireland at a festival, and Tiny Temper's on before me. And when I got on the stage, he's there, and he's doing like a set, and they're all, it's like pop, so, you know, they're all singing along, then every song. They don't know me. I'm thinking, how the fuck am I going to go on after this guy? But we went on, me and Daddy L, and we smashed it. You know, and they love it. And maybe 2 years ago, that wouldn't have happened.
Music's a lot more accessible now.
Yeah, no, well, I think...
And it has been for a while.
No, it's always accessible. It's not about accessibility. It's just about what kids get into. You know, like, you get into something, and no matter how good it is, sooner or later, you get bored of it. Now, what happens in drum and bass and jungle, you know, it's now... It's such a big pot. It's scenes within the scene. So when you say, when people go, I love jungle drum and bass, I'm like, yeah, what though? Because before jungle drum and bass, it's all of it. You know, pretty much it comes under one pot. And then there might be little slivers of specialist bits, but overall the main scene is still this one kind of melting pot. Whereas now, you know, like if you went to a hospital event, will be very different to a RAM event. That will be very different to a Players event. That might be very different to, you know, One Nation. That might be very, and yet all these scenes are big in their own rights. It's not like little pockets anymore. So we've kind of become almost like a house industry, you know, like house music. It's handbag house, tech house, this house, that house. They were drum and bass. And we've kind of become that. We are the new age house.